Hi, and welcome to the Thinking Out Loud podcast, a show with meaningful conversations in English with non-native speakers. My name is Jędrek,
My name is Masha.
and we are two English teachers who
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
I had to play it, So once Gattuso is out, let's welcome our listeners. Hi, everybody. Thanks for being with us. This is the 80th episode of the Thinking Out Loud podcast. Masha, your reflections on that?
It has been a great ride.
It has been, it has been, and as the present perfect suggests, yeah, it's still
It still
ongoing.
is.
So, yeah, what's new, Masha, in our circle? There is one big elephant in the room that needs to be addressed.
For once, I knew my line. After we are doing the teachers, I knew exactly what I had to say, and you spoiled it. You stole it from me. So we're doing the teachers who finally have a newsletter.
Yeah,
it is
great.
officially out.
It's officially out. Yes, the first issue. It's. I think I'm really happy it's out. I know that there are some things that need improvement and so on, but hopefully that, Masha, if we manage to publish this newsletter regularly each week, then it's going to grow, it's going to develop. While sending it, because I was, let's say, the should I say dominant author of or what is
the word which is more than dominant, like the only?
All right, yeah, but yeah, it's true. I said it. I decided
so it was a surprise even for me.
Yeah, it was a surprise even for you, because I mean, I knew it's going to be published either this week or next week, but I decided to ship it, and to start, because the whole process of refining and improving, it has to take time, so and you won't do it. I think you know something about it, right? It's the same with writing texts. Till you publish, you can't really work on them. You know what I mean? You can't.
No, you don't publish your text until you edited it. Nobody
No,
does
I'm
that.
not. I'm not talking about edition. I mean, this kind of rudimentary work that.
No, it's not rudimentary. Editing is actually half of your writing.
So wait a second, but okay, but I was thinking, because I read somewhere, or someone told me, I can't remember, that you have to publish stuff, and only then you somehow suddenly, which is a weird, process. But
this is what they say about products.
Yeah.
You create a product, and of course you can try and perfect it forever, but you just send it out and you get feedback. This is how
exactly
it's
and
done.
then you improve it, and this was the logic behind my sending of the newsletter. But I was thinking about, honestly, publishing texts, especially texts that can be, well, I would say corrected. This one cannot be. I mean, I will never do it, but and once again, it's not about the text, but I was thinking that, once you publish something and it's publicly available, you can grow, because you can write another text and it can be better. You don't have to, because waiting with
I wouldn't call it a text. It's not only a text, it's a newsletter. There are many things there. So
yeah,
it's
of course,
we call it a product.
It's a product. You're right.
You're right. But I don't know how likely it is that we're going to improve, since we don't get any feedback.
Oh, we did already, we did already. But you talk about no, we did actually. We got plenty of
like we do with our show. Yeah, we've been online for 2 years, and we got so much feedback.
To be honest, I think this newsletter is going to be a game changer for both
Why do you care so much about this newsletter?
I don't know, because it's my brainchild, or
or whatever child.
yeah, but no, I'm really excited about it, because I see the potential it has. Which is a potential, a community creating potential. Because with being live on the show, come on, there are only a handful of people who have the guts and the courage to join us here. And by the way, we invite everybody all the time, but the thing is that I think that a written medium would be easier, I wrote one line there in that newsletter saying that if you, that is our readers, if you want to contribute, write your own text and publish it. And I also suggested, Masha, but again, without consulting this with you, that we could somehow edit the text if it needs some kind of editing, right? Then feel free to do it. Feel free to share your stories or whatever you want to share with everybody. This is also a nice opportunity to start writing, which is a great way also to practice your
Why
language.
do you think it takes less guts to write something and publish it than to be on the show?
Because but it's just like you can take your time. It's not being recorded live. You can take your time, you can review your text, you can send it to ChatGPT. Or you can use translator. Come on, Masha, it's much easier, of course, to publish something than to be live on the show, I think.
I don't know. We have a saying, the direct translation would be what is written with your quill, but let's say a pen cannot be chopped out with an axe. That's a literal translation, So
let me digest that. Let me digest the meaning of that. So it means that once you write something, it's out there.
Yes,
it's out there.
And if you made a blunder or whatever, it's always there, and people can analyze it. But if you said something, you was like, well, people talk. It was a slip of a tongue or whatever.
Yeah, from that point of view, you're right. Once you write, you're right. Once you write something, it's out there. But then again, you don't have to write about private stuff or what.
No. It's just that it was something about. You say that you
I
think
wouldn't
that
take it. I wouldn't take it so seriously. With
I'm just
really
wondering how you think it's going to help build the community. That's it. And you're saying that it's because it's easier.
Yeah, I think it's easier to interact, in this written form, and it's also easier to somehow break the ice, I guess. So I'm really hopeful that this newsletter is going to be a very, very nice way to communicate between all of us somehow. Gathered around this little podcast here, thinking out loud. And maybe it might go beyond. It might actually do a lot of good to the podcast itself, because it might reach people who are not really our listeners, but they may become ones, and so yeah. And I like this formula, of motivation, inspiration, although that is a mysterious term, and then education, of course.
Well,
so
I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
I can't wait to read your text, Masha.
Oh, now you've set the bar,
No, I'm not.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure.
No, I think it's always nice to read something that is a surprise, I guess.
I hope.
All right.
Who knows?
Fine. So everybody, thanks a lot for signing up. Those of you who still want to join us, of course, tolpodcast.com, and you'll find it. It's not far from the top of the page. just scroll a bit to that. Sorry, I'm not really good at colors, Masha. Is it actually blue or the kind of bluish color? All right.
Bluish always
No,
works.
it's actually it's more
For men.
green than blue, you
For
know?
men.
All right. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All right. So once again, you know, we launched our newsletter, and we are going to send it to your mailboxes each Sunday morning. And since I'm not paying for the MailChimp account, imagine they want to charge $15 or euros, can't remember now, per month for having an option of scheduling, so that, you know, it would be nice to have, you know, this newsletter prepared somewhere, you know, before, like, I know, Saturday night, and then send it on Sunday morning, 6 a.m. That'd be great, you know. Except you have to pay 15 euros for that function, you know. So sorry, guys, you know, when I wake up on Sunday, I'll send it. You have to wait. But I'm an early bird, so unless I'm drunk or I don't know, somewhere in the gutter, I guess I'll be sending it
When was the
pretty
last
early.
time you found yourself in the gutter on Sunday morning?
Oh, it's definitely the university days, you know. It's been long. It was long time ago. All right, or maybe not even then.
I hope you'll read about it in your next newsletter.
Oh, that'll be nice, you know, some kind of, you know, spicy, you know, stories. Yeah, who knows where this is going to take us, you know. So everything depends, Masha, on what you are going to write, you know, because if you write something spicy, I write something spicy too. All right.
Like you
No,
are
but
the
I'm kidding.
trendsetter or starter because you
No,
were the first, so it's up to you.
Yeah, I was the first, you know, but yeah, I just wanted to say that being overly pessimistic is not something. Yeah, being overly pessimistic is not a good thing. You know, it's not like I'm discovering America with that, but you know,
being
it's
overly pessimistic or overly optimistic.
Pessimistic.
Being
This is something we
overly...
tend to do. You know, this is something we tend to do, thinking about our skills. You know, of course, you know, everybody's like, you know, I'm totally, you know, I totally suck at this or that, you know, and in languages especially, you know. But I think that our approach, and by our I mean, you know, the approach that is perhaps common to everybody except Americans, that we are kind of shy and not really sure of our, you know, skills and so. But I think there is a potential in this approach, you know. I really prefer this to, you know, boasting and claiming that you're the best.
Okay. I'm trying.
Okay, great.
Very hard to be politically correct and tolerant. This is my job on this show.
All right, great, Masha. So wait, is there anything else going on around this
in our circle?
Our circle, yeah, and our little anniversary, 80 episodes. Still not like, you know, 100. We're still waiting for 100. If we keep recording like we have been doing so far, I think we are going to celebrate this anniversary this year. You know,
there's so many celebrations. There's been so many of them recently.
Like what?
Christmas episode, the New Year, then, you know, 2-year anniversary. Now it's 80, then it's 100.
Yeah, you're right.
Like we are overdoing it a little bit.
It reminds me of these, you know, perpetual promotions going on in shops, you know, especially electro markets. You know, there's always some kind of a sale, you know, always, whether it's a New Year's sale or then, you know, there's sale basically all year round.
And we are not selling anything.
And we are not selling
and
anything,
not making any money. You know, my husband the other day, I was talking to him about this, and he referred to you as my business partner. And I was like, oh, I'm doing business. Then I went to my, you know, bank account, just double check, just in case, you know.
Guys, you
Oh.
can support. You can support this
This
show
is
and you can support us.
what is it called?
There's-
When
This
you
is
don't make any
non-profit.
yeah.
It's a non-profit. Yeah,
Non-profit.
it's NGO, an NGO. You know?
An
This is an
NGO.
NGO.
We are running an NGO.
here. But guys, if you want, of course, you may share your wealth with us, and there is no upper limit to how much you can send.
There is
So
no.
I guess it's a great function, you know, that they don't actually limit how much you can transfer. So you can go to our I wanted to say tea or coffee. It's not tea or coffee. It's our
Buy me a coffee.
Buy me a coffee page.
And send us your
And of course-
limitless love.
Yes, send us your limitless love, and I promise I'm going to buy the MailChimp basic or whatever it is, you know, for it's like basic and they charge 15. Come on, you know, like I
Somebody's
don't
looking
have other.
forward to receiving your newsletter at 6 a.m. on a Sunday.
Oh yeah, you know, right after sending it, I must tell you, I don't know who that was, but there's an award for you waiting, a prize, I mean, and an award. But I sent this newsletter at 6:01 because I was late.
On
I
a
wanted
Sunday.
to send it. I
On
wanted
a
this to look like
Sunday.
on a Sunday. Yeah, I wanted to look. I wanted this to look like it's automatic, you know, 6 a.m. But then, you know, I just forgot. I was clicking around, and oh, it's 6:01, you know, and then I clicked. But and somebody opened that immediately because MailChimp gives you that, you know, these kind of stats, you know, how many opens are there.
So there are other people
there are
like
people
you
who are actually awake at 6 a.m.
on a
Sunday
Sunday
morning, and they are waiting, you know, for something to read.
Oh my God.
Yes. All right. Great. Enough about us and our newsletter and this show celebrating its anniversary. How about we go to the good old thinking out loud proper?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, you know.
Round 1, fight.
What the hell is going on? 2 guns. All right. He's actually going to play around. No, sorry, I
This
clicked
was
twice.
intimidating, you know?
It was, but today I suggest first trying live. This is a live experiment, people. So I don't know where this is going to take us, but I've got a book by Ian Gilbert. It's called The Complete Thunks Book, and it contains, well, what? Questions, basically questions. Masha, there are 628 questions. And I would like you to choose from the number from 1 to 628 exactly, your favorite number from that range. Unless your favorite number is actually bigger than that.
What if it is?
And wait a second. And I just want to say that these questions are quite specific in the sense that they are supposed to make you think, but I'm not 100% happy with the kind of thinking it is evoking or leading to. But let's give it a go. If we are stuck and we can't answer the question, then we have a backup question that is, you know, more civilized.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So
your
give me
favorite number
the
from
range
1
again?
from 1 to 628.
601.
Well, I didn't expect that. 601. Are you good at maths?
No.
This is not a question. It's a preliminary question. All right, 601. When you measure the area of a rectangle, are you measuring the rectangular space that isn't rectangle? No, sorry. This is too much for me.
No, I'm measuring the rectangular space, which is a rectangle.
I don't understand. When you measure the area of a rectangle, okay, fine. Are you measuring the rectangular space that isn't? I don't get it. I don't get it totally. Can you explain this?
Oh, measuring the rectangular space, which is a rectangular. I'm not measuring the space which isn't.
are you measuring the rectangular space that isn't rectangle? Don't get it. I mean, don't even get. I mean, I'm so bad at comprehension.
Okay, let's give it another try.
Good. Another number.
666.
I told you it's 628. The 660. Yeah, this is the number of the devil.
105.
105. There we go. 105. Sorry, 130. There it is. Oh, I love the question. This question is finally something, you know.
Okay.
Can you hurry love? Nice. It's actually for Saint
You
Valentine's
can't hurry
Day. Yeah.
love. Do. Do you know there's a song like this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, don't do this with your eyes. I need to find this. You can hurry love.
Meaning you can't.
You can't.
So the song has the answer.
The love comes when it comes.
What would that even mean to hurry love? I mean, let's say you want to fall in love and you want to kind of
Why would you
accelerate.
want to fall in love? Let's
Because it's a great feeling, they say.
Okay. In general, you don't mean that, okay, that's the person. You look at the person and say, it would be nice to fall in love with this person. Like that?
No. This is weird, right? But I think that there
No,
are
it's not
people.
weird. You can fall in love with, imagine you've been married for, I don't know, 30 years.
Mhm.
Let's say it's not as, I'm trying to find the word.
You mean
as
you
it
talk
used to
that the
be.
butterflies are gone from your stomach? Or...
They're gone, yes, they're gone. But you are trying to invite them back.
Yeah. That
And you
would be
think
a
it would
nice
be
idea.
nice to fall in love with my spouse one more time. And you start going on dates. I don't know. Buying your
Is it even
wife.
possible to kind of relapse?
I have no idea. It just occurred to me.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting. You know, that could actually be, you know, a really great question for our very special Valentine's episode that is upcoming. Another celebration.
Not another special
No, sorry, I'm
episode.
kidding. So let's treat this, you know, as
Okay.
once we talk about love, you know, once we finish talking about it, we are not touching it on the 14th or around. So in 2 weeks' time. But
you can actually, I remember some rom-coms when a guy is already in love with a girl, let's say, and there is this, what's this period called? Courting? Yeah, he's courting her.
all right, courting. Oh, that sounds very, you know,
very serious. And she's maybe a little bit into him, but she wouldn't call it, you know, being in love. And he can try and speed up the process by, I don't know, very romantic dates or a lot of presents or whatever the girl's into, and try and speed up.
I wonder if gifts
falling in
actually
love with
speed
him.
up. I wonder if gifts or any kind of, you know, they are called advances, you know, if
It depends on your language of love. Have you read the book Five Languages of Love by Chapman?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, this is a novel?
No, this is nonfiction. He's a psychologist or
Oh
psychiatrist.
no, not at all. Not at all.
And he came up with this theory that how we perceive love, you know, how you understand, let's say, that your partner loves you. And for different people, it's different things. There are 5 languages. The first one, of course, is physical. The second is quality time. Third is, you know, like being there and support. Fourth, gifts.
All right. So there is something
Yes.
like gifts
And
actually
fifth,
matter.
I don't remember. And of course, it's not like you have only this language and that's it. You have a combination, but one is definitely your primary language. For example, for you, feeling loved will mean that, I don't know, your wife does this and this and this. But for your wife, it may be different. She needs different things to feel loved. And that's why
It's
when you say
really,
present,
really interesting. I never thought about this. I mean, it's nice to know these 5 languages and
and if
sort
you
of,
don't know,
have
you
a better
keep bringing her
orientation.
flowers, and she couldn't
Yeah,
care
yeah, yeah.
less about flowers. She wants you to wash the dishes. And you're like, you're not speaking the same language, you don't understand each other, and you are trying your best, and she's kind of also trying her best. But
Yeah.
so
Wow, that's
this
interesting.
was to your question
Okay,
about presence.
but that kind of means that if you speak the same language, your partner
Not the same language. You
won't.
need to understand your
Oh, yeah, yeah,
partner's language.
yeah, exactly. But if you understand your partner's language of love,
Mhm.
then you actually can hurry love.
Yes.
I mean, unless this language is only once you do fall in love or what? Because I assume that being together as a couple doesn't mean that you're in love, right? People may be a couple just, for various reasons, right? But not
Like
necessarily
what? Sex buddies?
like sex buddies. Yeah, but I imagine that there's, maybe there are couples that are together because it's more convenient for them to be together.
Ah,
You
you
know what I
mean,
mean?
of course, after 20 years of marriage, you mean? For some reason, I'm talking, when you say in love, I'm thinking about this first, courting period. This is when you're
All
in
right.
love, and
No,
then you,
no. But I can imagine, even I know people of 30 or 40, being together in a relationship without love. I think it is actually possible, and things like that actually
do you differentiate
may even be
between,
common. Yeah.
do you, are these things different for you, or absolutely the same? Like when you say, I'm in love with somebody and I love somebody. Because this being in love, this
I think, yeah.
infatuation,
Oh,
this
that's
is the
nice.
first, it doesn't last long.
You're
And
right.
I think I have a theory that it's given to you because it's all, hormonal stuff. And it's given to you, if you use it wisely, this period, then you will be able later on, when you take off these rose tinted glasses, you will still have something that will help you to accept the person the way they are, because you will eventually see that, they have flaws. But if you use this first period, I don't know,
Sorry, but what do you
days.
mean by using it wisely? I mean, what do you mean by that?
It's so difficult to explain. It's only a theory, and it's not.
Yeah, but
It-
what would that even mean in theory? Using wisely the period of
well,
being in love.
it's much more. It's much easier to forgive or to accept these flaws when you're still wearing these glasses.
Sure.
And if you managed to do that while wearing them,
Okay, great.
then when you
Great.
take them off,
So actually,
it
yeah,
will be.
so actually not allowing yourself to be blinded
Yeah.
completely, but somehow accepting the person in his or her totality, meaning that
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, great point. It's a great point. So
Because
you
if
actually
you
suggest not
only, go
falling.
to, not
You
falling.
suggest not falling in love totally, but just
No, that's
just a
not what
little
I'm
bit or
suggesting. It's just
gradually.
that if you use old, how long does it last? 3 months? Okay, let's assume
No
that.
idea. I mean, there's probably science behind this, but I have no idea.
Well, no matter how long it lasts, but if you only use it to, pardon my French, fuck like rabbits, then it's not gonna help you a lot, in building a long-term relationship.
Yeah, you're right.
There's no
So
science behind it. It's only my theory.
no, but it's not just
But I'm going
about
to write a
sex,
book
of
about it,
course.
so you
You
might
do?
see more about see more of it, of my theory.
All right. No, it's really, it's everything that you mentioned is absolutely interesting, and to be honest, I wasn't thinking about it at all in that kind of more systematized approach, like these 5 languages of love and so on. I think that from that point of view, you can actually speed things up, but this is kind of dangerous, because it could be exploited.
Yeah, it could be a manipulation. But the first
It could
thing,
be
do you believe
manipulation,
that
yeah,
you can make somebody fall in love with you?
for sure.
Yeah, I think
For
you
sure. I
totally
mean,
can. Yeah.
yeah, you can. I mean, I mean, all the gifts and all that stuff, you may actually pretend, right? Because you
No,
have,
I'm not
a
talking about this
hidden agenda.
because this is definitely possible. But when you're truly in love with somebody,
Mhm.
I think, well, given that, the person doesn't hate you completely,
Mhm.
then you have a fair chance of, if you are, if you do it right.
I think I will venture to say that it is more likely to work with women than with men. But I don't know, maybe I'm talking bullshit now.
Come on, women, many women know how to seduce a man.
Yeah, I'm not talking about seduction. I'm talking about
But this is what it is, seducing you to fall
falling in love.
This infatuation, not loving them.
Okay. Sorry, I keep confusing that, because you're right. So being in love, but why is it actually, even from the linguistic perspective, called being in love and loving someone? It's like so close, which means that you have to go through this being in love to love somebody.
But you
Or
see,
not?
be in love, it's like you use the verb be, so it's like an adjective, a state. But loving, it's much more difficult to love somebody. But being in love, falling in love,
I wouldn't say
it's
that. You may love people in general. I love people, meaning that you sort of appreciate everything that is human, or you love
yeah,
humanity. You may love
it's a different love. I thought we
very
were talking
abstract
about romantic
concepts.
love.
Yeah, with romantic love, this one actually,
Even
romantic
loving
love.
people takes a huge effort for some.
Oh yeah. I mean, you love people if you don't spend time with them, right?
Yay. So I wanted to say in general, but to be honest, like totally guilty. I hate people when we talk about people in general, but individuals, I absolutely love individuals.
You're right. But once again, I think that Masha, being in love, I was thinking that being in love is actually the romantic love, meaning that romantic love is the equivalent of being in love, feeling romantic love, or not.
Well, if it is for you, then what can I do?
I don't know.
For me, it's
Because
not.
it's interesting. But that would actually mean that there are so many shades of love that you could actually always say or tell somebody, I love you. But this is the kind of shade of love that I understand in my particular way. That there is
Yeah,
no
probably. For different people, loving somebody means different things, and understanding that you're loved, it also comes from different things.
but I think there is, if we talk about love, and let's say that this is the highest possible emotion that we can experience and also give to others, right?
Mhm.
Because I think that love is kind of a feeling, emotion that you give, right?
Mhm.
It actually, my favorite word, it radiates. It radiates. It means that you have it, but it also affects others, right?
Mhm.
And I think that ultimately it means that you are ready to die for somebody, I guess. Because how else would it actually manifest itself? I mean, in that ultimate sense, if not through putting the life of that person above your own.
I think it's not as difficult to die for somebody as live with somebody for 30 years and keep loving them. So
Yeah, you're right. You're right. This is actually a bigger sacrifice, Yeah. No, it's you're right. You're right. But even living with somebody for 30 years, you have that at the back of your head, that one day you may actually sacrifice yourself. So it's living for 30 years with that thought. It's not about, because let's say sacrificing for somebody, of course, I mean, you do it and then you don't know what's next, but because you are not there anymore. But living with somebody for a long time and being ready for this sacrifice, this is love, I guess. So it's not
yeah, but
actually
then
about
what
sacrificing.
kind of sacrifice? You know that it will be very unhealthy relationship if you always put the other person first.
It's so complex, It's not about
Yeah,
putting
it's
someone.
just a little
It's not
question
about
from
putting
the
someone
book.
first. Like you
Uh,
always, you're always
Watch
right,
football
and
instead of watching rom-coms because
exactly.
you like them.
Yeah, exactly. It's not about that, It's I don't know what is this about.
You don't know what love is.
I wrote, yeah,
Who does?
yeah. You know what? Which leads me to this.
What is love? Baby,
You
don't
don't
hurt
hurt
me.
me.
Don't hurt me
How do you
no
find it?
more.
How do you find it so quickly?
There's a fantastic website. There's a fantastic website called myinstance.com. And I found it. It's great. I think it's a French website, but it's great, So whichever soundbite you want, there is. But I wanted to tell you that I read recently an article on my favorite Wall Street Journal. I say my favorite because I bought a subscription for €2
You
per
did.
month.
€2. They
€2
came down to
per
€2.
month. Yeah.
Per
It came
month.
down.
Okay.
Yeah, per month. Yeah. So still, but still, I think I thought that, since I'm not, my story with Bloomberg, that, I had to quit, they wanted to charge me 400 per year. And now 2 per month, which is, Masha, you do the math.
Okay,
2 times 12
we got
is
it.
what?
You have a subscription
All
and
right.
you read?
And I read an article on what is the apparently a new trend that is living in a triangle. Having
Living in a triangle?
in a triangle, meaning that what is that polyamorous?
Okay. Yeah, polyamor. I don't know exactly, but I know what you mean. Okay.
Yeah. But so basically, it means that there's, for example,
Yeah, they
one girl
assume
and 2
that you can
guys, or
actually love two people. It's not just about sexual relations. It means that you can love two people.
but there was, and there are, there are even a couple of books that have been published recently.
Mhm.
So this is kind of a trend that is accelerating.
Mhm.
And what I remember from the text is that it's your sex life is great, and so on, but at the same time, the author of this article from the Wall Street Journal wanted to get in touch with the husband, or I don't know how to call him, one of the husbands of a girl who published a book recently on polyamoria, or I don't know what is that, but
Mhm.
polyamorous relationship or whatever. And the one of these, no, sorry, her original husband, because it was like, they were a couple. And
Mhm.
at one point in their life, they allowed another guy into. I mean, she had somehow a boyfriend, and
Somehow. Okay.
yeah, I mean, and
It happens.
and her husband, before even she got into this new relationship. Sorry if I'm not being clear, but he told her that, okay, if you ever have someone else, you tell me about it. And so, and she did. So she told him. But to cut the long story short, the Wall Street Journal reporter wanted to get in touch with the husband, and he just wrote back that I feel like my life lost sense or something like that,
After she
And he
published
did,
this book,
yeah. I mean,
or
I don't
after
think
she
it was
brought
about.
this man into the marriage.
I think that was his current state of mind,
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
living in this polyamorous relationship, and I think now coming back to our subject of love, I think that it must be horribly difficult knowing that the person you love is not exclusively for you. And I think it's
But in different cultures, people manage to cope with it. Well, women.
I don't know, actually, there are usually
they cope?
cultures that, but they are usually cultures where women have little to say about it, I guess, because if you think about some kind of a harem style, I don't know where else is it actually being practiced.
I know that in Kazakhstan, because I have a student,
Mhm.
she lives now in Kazakhstan, and she says that it's illegal, of course, but
Sorry, it's illegal.
it's illegal. You can't have
It's
two
it. Oh,
wives.
okay.
It's
Oh,
illegal,
right.
but it's like this tacit. Everybody turns a blind eye to it because you
Mhm.
can get a second wife.
Mhm.
These are like unspoken rules. So you can get a second wife only if you can afford it, and your first wife will allow it. So you need to get her permission, and
Oh,
she would
okay, I
usually
get it.
demand something from you.
Mhm.
And you need to be able to provide the same level of support to both women and their children.
But
Only
you
in
can, you
this
can
case you can have two wives.
you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that Kazakhstan, and then I know also India, and I guess the farther we go east, the more how to say that, the less romantic is love, and the more kind of materialistic it is. That means that in India, for example, parents arrange for a wedding, right? They don't even ask their children whether they like each other or not.
Yeah,
You
but
are
it
going
doesn't
to
mean
marry.
that their love is
That's
not so romantic. I mean, they are very passionate. The farther you go east, the more
Mhm.
passionate men and women are. It starts like this infatuation.
But isn't it kind of paradoxical that your parents arranged the wedding, and which of course also means choose your partner, and then they're passionate. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. Of course, it may happen, right? Love may actually, appear in this relationship.
And very often it does. And your parents, if they know you well, I mean, because when you are in this state of this infatuation, when you're madly in love with somebody, you very often overlook things that you later see, and you understand that this very thing made your union impossible. But your parents, good parents, they will usually see that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't think all arranged marriages, because I know somebody great, very, of course, smart, said that the problem is not that marriages, there is no love in marriage, but the biggest problem is that there is no friendship.
Oh, yeah.
It's much worse than a marriage without love, because you can build a great union and be good partners to each other if you are friends, and it may develop into something romantic at the end.
But I'm
In the
call
end,
me, I know,
not at the
call
end, I
me
hope.
uh, call me old or old school or whatever, or conservative, but I think that being in this polyamorous relationship, I think it's honestly less romantic, more business-like, and of course benefit-like, with all the benefits coming from.
I don't know. I will risk being very, very not politically
Progressive.
correct, and but I think it's in the end it will be just a torture, to probably everybody, or at least two, in this triangle. I don't see how it can work.
Yeah, but it's really interesting, that and there were some crazy numbers, as I remember from this article, that some kind of 80% of people fantasize about this, and a huge chunk of these people would actually say yes given a chance. And as far as the actual number of such relationships is concerned, I think it was also pretty high. Can't remember that. I wish. Sorry, I'm not prepared. I didn't know you are going to choose this question.
I didn't choose it.
I think there was a significant number. I can't tell you now whether it was it was 20 something. I don't know. Actually, this is weird. You're not 20 something, but there's a lot of such relationships right now being formed, I guess, in the United States, perhaps in Europe too, because I know that I saw lately. I also saw one person was posting on Twitter, a book cover from France, from a French bookstore, about polyamorous relationships.
Fiction.
So no,
You mean?
no, I think
Not?
no, I think it's either some kind of a memoir, or some kind of personal experience, or some kind of sociological study. I don't know.
But I see. I think there is maybe some problem of definitions here, because look, if and like you said at the beginning, if love is something that radiates, and it's usually the true love is unconditional, and you are happy when the object of your love is happy, then there will be no bad feelings here, whatever it
You're
is,
right.
triangle, square. But if it's only about bringing this third person into the marriage for sex, it's very different. And I think these 80, or whichever the number of people you gave, they don't see it as because why is it called polyamorous and not just what is the other term for it? Swingers? Yes.
Swingers, but it's something different. I mean, if you exchange your partners,
Yeah,
right,
but
with
I
others.
think people don't really, they use these things maybe not interchangeably, but they call one and think they name it like this, but they think about something different. Because if you're talking about true love, which is, a gift you're given, maybe some are never given, and why would you be unhappy if you love this person? You don't care if the person loves, because they claim that if to call this relationship like this, it means that one person is able to love two people, let's say two people at the same time. So person one is loved in equal measure, as person two. So why would you suffer? There will be no jealousy if you truly love, each other. But if it's only for sex, then of course, I think most people,
the vast
like
majority
that.
would be actually would be treating it and as just a way to spice up your sex life, I guess.
Yes.
However, yeah, it's, I don't know, it's honestly it's strange if the human heart, the real heart, has capacity for more than one soul
But this is what they
there.
claim, people who
Yeah.
started or
Yeah.
introduced or this thing, this phenomenon.
I don't know. I know,
I think it's
honestly,
just
of
a
course.
beautiful justification of
Yeah, exactly.
we know
Of
what. Yeah. Let's call
all
it
right.
like this and say that I love these two men equally.
Yes. Yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
it's
This is very
it,
unprogressive episode.
yeah, exactly. But you know what?
I'm going to get a
There
lot of
was
hate.
yeah.
Well, at
I
least
I
we
re-
get something.
yeah, exactly. So we provoke people.
No, we don't.
I wanted to say that. I wanted to say that there was what was that? There was another article this time in French. Yeah, it was in my favorite French weekly, Le 1. And there was, one. I remember just one quotation, and I even posted that also on my Twitter. That there was can't remember honestly the context, but there was just a lady who said, "I wish I was homosexual. It would make things so much easier." And no, sorry, I'm not homosexual. Sorry, of course I had to mix it up. I wish I was bisexual. It would make things so much easier, because it was about using Tinder in small towns, where everybody know each
the
other. It's
choices.
kind of the choice is limited, and she was like, I wish I was bisexual. That would facilitate things, All right. Fine. This is maybe off topic. Masha, coming back to the original question, can you hurry love? Do you actually side with the song that you can't? Or do you have any definite answer?
Well, for yourself, like we started with, you sit at home and wish you were in love. Probably not. Unless you can
But
increase, well,
once
you can definitely increase your chances by, improving your social life. But making somebody else feel something for you, I think, yeah.
you could, once you find the language,
Yeah.
I mean, you
I
kind
really
of
believe in
recognize,
this,
once you
languages.
recognize the language that person speaks, the language of love, and then basically, responding to it, right?
Yeah.
All right, great. Thanks so much for this conversation, Masha. I think, is it actually time to wrap up? I guess it is.
It is.
I guess our audience may be already tired of us,
yeah,
of our conservative point of view, right?
Very conservative.
All right. Thanks so much for that.
Nice.
And like always, our conversations.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
I love Gattuso. Once per episode is not enough. So, Masha, thanks so much for this conversation. Thanks so much for choosing this question number 105. Let's cross it out. We may be back to the Book of Tongues. The first one, I'm really glad we moved away from this, rectangles and so on. But we did end up talking about triangles.
Oh, yeah, by the way.
So we didn't go that far. Great.
Well, that's it.
Over to you.
This was the 80th episode of the Thinking Out Loud podcast. Thank you for staying. I hope somebody stayed till the end. Well,
and thank you for subscribing.
Talk about sex. Do more people stay till the end? It would be really nice.
Okay.
To know.
Please write in the comments.
And stay tuned for the next one. Bye, everyone.